Hi, I'm Dr. Sherwana Davis, and I'm a psychotherapist. Are you really stressed out? Are you feeling anxious all the time? Well, there's a lot going on in the world. There's a lot going on in homes, schools, and jobs. And so there are reasons that people are stressed out. There are reasons that people feel some anxiety. I want to share with you today just the difference between anxiety and stress because sometimes those words are used interchangeably, but it's quite different. And I want to be able to just share with you the difference between the two and provide some ways to actually start coping. So I thought that actually the National Institute of Mental Health did a really good job of creating an infographic about this, right? It's called I'm So Stressed Out, and I will leave this a link to this actually in the description below. So let's talk about it. Stress is really a response to triggers in the environment. And so, what happens is when someone is stressed out, it typically is the result of something that has happened externally in the environment that's causing them to feel like they can't cope with it. Once that is resolved, typically the stress decreases as well. So, let's talk about this a little bit more. It can be positive or negative in terms of what that stressor is. So even if someone gets exactly what they want, they can still feel stressed out because it's overwhelming to their system at that point in time. Anxiety is different from stress. Anxiety is an internal experience. And so, even if there is no perceived external threat, someone can still feel very, very anxious. It also is something that is more pervasive and it doesn't just go away. It's consistent, even if the immediate threat is no longer present. Both stress and anxiety have these things in common. They affect not only you emotionally, but you psychologically and physically. So it can cause excess worry, uneasiness, tension, headaches, high blood pressure, loss of sleep. These are all of the things that result from either stress or anxiety. What happens is stress tends to be short term in nature, and anxiety is something that, again, can occur over and over again, even when there is no threat in the environment. So now that you know the difference between the two, let's talk about some ways that you can actually start coping with them. So, in particular, when it comes to both stress and anxiety, there are so many things that you can do to actually start addressing them. And it's really important to know that there is actually hope. It is something that in both situations, you can actually go on and have a wonderful life with learning how to cope with that stress and then how to manage your anxiety as well. So let's talk about what are some of those things you can actually do to cope. So, the National Institute of Mental Health actually highlights a couple of them. There is the art of journaling that you can do, there's physical activity, there are different things that you can do to psychologically respond to those external threats that you may be perceiving that's causing those responses, that's triggering that stress that you're having as well. You want to make sure that you are really, really paying attention to your sleep as well. You want to avoid drinking excess coffee or caffeine. You want to make sure that you're challenging any negative thoughts and that you reach out to your support system so that you get the support that you need. In terms of anxiety, you can do some of those same things for anxiety, but you also want to make sure that you are engaging professionals to help you work through that. So that can be your medical doctor, your primary care physician, your psychiatrist, or your therapist. Therapists are trained to be able to help people identify what are those core things that are causing some of that prevalence of anxiety and working through new ways of changing that and incorporating ways to create more ease into people's lives. I thank you for watching, and remember, you deserve peace of mind.